Mary Gaitskill's Bad Behavior is a collection of short stories that delves into the complexities of human relationships, uh, their desires, the most forbidden ones, but not in a way that we're used to on this channel. Whilst disturbing books covered here, introduced here, that is, mainly focus on hardcore violence or psychological issues. This one is a bit of a both, but it's disturbing in a different way. Don't expect balls to the walls violence here. Don't expect splatterpunk. Don't expect gore. Expect uncomfortable eroticism. Yeah. Welcome. This is Check That Book, a special and safe place where we get introduced to the most disturbing books ever written in a cozy manner. I hope. Do you feel cozy? Get your teacups out. This is going to be a different sort of disturbing. Like I mentioned, we have subjects of power, desire, and emotional detachment even in this book. It's a collection of short stories, and as you might expect, this isn't a very heavy read. But it's not light in a sense of it being emotionally easy. I would never dare to say so about Gaitskill's work. As a as a reader myself, as a heavy reader, I've read through a lot of similar works, and none struck me as much as Bad Behavior. The story about the secretary in particular, which we're going to talk about a bit later when we do book versus movie, because if you know, you know, but I'm really eager to talk about this a bit, the movie adaptation of one of the best sections of the book. But with that being said, why is this book on the disturbing books list? Bad Behavior focuses on the darker aspects of love and desire, human relationships. It tackles loneliness and people's sense of various characters' sense of belonging to this normal world. We all have our flaws, so I found this book to be what I call psychologically entertaining. It really makes you feel for the characters, trying your best to understand them, even if you can barely relate to any of them. Even so, I mean, it was partially the case for me, but then again, I found myself understanding slowly but surely and feeling for them. These stories are intense and thought provoking, revealing the raw and uncomfortable sides of intimacy and personal boundaries. To each their own. I mean, we are sort of poking our noses into other people's private business, which I absolutely hate to do when it comes to, one's sexual life and sexual preferences. That's none of my business, as long as it doesn't damage the society or me personally. Here, we have aspects such as, well, masochism, psychological masochism, and sadism, and how people willingly submit to such actions and why. And it's written, I wouldn't say that it's written in a disturbing form, albeit there is, how to put it, I would say that there's a hint of violence. It's more like a suggestive kind of violence, but it's never the central focus of the book, which I found to be refreshing. It's a good thing for a book that is also classified as a disturbing piece of literature on some forums. Don't get me wrong, I would never put it there, But a tiny part of me deep down was like, actually, it kind of fits, depending on what people find disturbing. But then again, if we follow this trope, then, well, some people might find Alice's Adventures in Wonderland disturbing. Um, sure, some people find fairy tales disturbing. Speaking of which, if you've ever read original Brothers Grimm, pun very much intended. By the way, if you would like me to cover some original spooky fairy tales and their disturbing shit, let me know in the comments section down below. Also, I'm collecting material, you guys. If you're interested in fairy tales, let me know, because there is some messed up stuff. As for this book, though, like I said, the stories explore power dynamics in relationships, which can lead to pretty dark situations. Messed up. But not, again, it's not in the category of the books like A Child Called It or The Groomer or even The Clockwork Orange. None of that. It is different. It is actually a very, like I said, psychologically interesting, but also enlightening read, perhaps, to some. If you are not into this sort of thing, you might still find it educational, because some people don't even know that such themes exist and such things exist. Such things as, people being emotionally messed up and trying to find solutions to their mental problems via physical. I wouldn't dare say violence. I would say physical manipulation. This book is just interesting. The violence, if there is any, I mean, it tends to be very subtle and rather psychological than, explicit or gratuitous, because I don't think that Gaitskill is interested in this sort of dark stuff. Judging by the work she's written, she is exploring the complexities of human emotions rather than, focusing on physical gore and splatter and stuff like that. So yes, human emotions, desires, and their interactions with one another. If we tone down the sexuality a bit, this could be an absolutely decent average book. Not in a bad sense. I don't mean to insult the author. I'm just saying, most likely, if we tone down the sexuality of it all, this would not be on the list. I hardly believe that it would be suggested anywhere as a piece of disturbing literature. However, here we are, thanks to the good old lust. And yes, we have a couple of titles, such as this one, on my channel. I will put them into the description down below. There is Lolita, there is Story of O, albeit Story of O is more physical than psychological, but yeah, I mean, check them both out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like disturbing content, consider giving this video a boost in the form of an erect thumb, and make sure to subscribe. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. I shall see you soon. Goodbye.